You are listening to the Techie Leadership Show with Bogdan and Andrei.
Hello and welcome to the Techie Leadership Show. Today with me I have Matt Ville. He is a LinkedIn top voice and he has 15 years of experience working in the sales industry. He is skilled in logistics, warehouse maintenance operation, and management. Hi Matt, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Do you want to add more background about yourself?
Yeah, no, you got it down. Basically, I've been working in retail since I was probably like 16. And
Oh, long
yeah,
time.
yeah, long time. So, a lot of people, a lot of people don't necessarily the skills of a retail salesperson are really undervalued because you deal with a lot of people every single day. So through that, you develop a lot of strong people skills, a lot of strong communication skills.
For sure.
So yeah, I've been through every Black Friday. I've been through every Thanksgiving, every Christmas.
The crazy times.
Yeah. So that builds a lot of mental tenacity. And it builds a lot of customer service. You know how to adjust yourself to help certain people. So yeah, I've developed a lot of skills since then. So and I feel I'm very good at now what I know from
I'm
working.
really excited to find out your stories. And
Yeah.
could you tell me what does it mean to be a LinkedIn top voice?
That started because uh um I had a LinkedIn like in 2018, and I saw this website. I'm like, oh man, everybody needs to jump on it. Everybody needs to jump on it, because I saw it as just a good way to network. That's how me and you found
Yes.
each other. And
Yes.
I've been telling people about it. Yo, LinkedIn is gonna explode. The engagement on it is crazy. And I just kept posting, different things. And then I work for Best Buy, so when they announced that they were changing their dress code policy, I wrote this long post about it, and then I started posting, a lot of my work uniforms with my sneakers, and
Yes.
I just kept doing that. And then someone from LinkedIn reached out to me and was like, your post create a lot of engagement, so I build more engagement around those posts, around motivational topics, motivational quotes, any wise words somebody just needs to hear out there. And yeah, that's how that happened. And I'm still
Uh,
doing it. Like, I have a huge collection now, but I still do that. I always try to reach out to someone who I feel like needs to hear something to motivate them to keep going.
yes. And probably you took the skills you got like from working in retail, especially the interpersonal skills, and you applied it to LinkedIn, the social network,
Yeah,
and you became like a thought leader on it.
yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm really excited to get more into it.
yeah.
Um, So, Matt, with what story would you like to begin? Would you like to begin with the leadership success story or the leadership failure story?
So the leadership success that comes with I've seen people who I've known go from you know working alongside with me to working at a different company or working in a different top tier or another branch that they personally didn't feel like they could go to. And
Oh,
there was one instance where I was working with this guy. Me and him was like the same age, and he he there was an opportunity for him to advance at Target, and he did. He went through the training, he went through the interviews, and then he ended up getting like an assistant kind of manager position. But then he
nice.
just kept going. I told him, like, don't ever get too comfortable, because in life, like, when you get comfortable, I feel like that's the start of your decline. When you start to get too comfortable, when you feel like I made it, and then that's when you don't challenge yourself anymore. You don't go out and do certain things anymore. So he just kept applying, kept going, and now he has a whole store to himself, and he stays in another state. Me and him still keep in
Amazing.
contact, and yeah, and he's real cool. He's very personable. I told him, like, he doesn't change. He's the same. He's the same person. Essentially, he has a little bit more responsibility, but he's the same person. So everywhere he goes along his journey, he's still garnering that same respect that he had when, you know, he was a regular salesperson. So
Yeah.
I feel like, you know,
And
humility had a lot to do with that too, you know, and definitely that feeling of not being stagnant and not being comfortable.
yeah, and that's something important, like being able to step outside your comfort zone,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
so you stretch and grow. And also you have to realize that it's not going to change you, like you become like another person overnight.
No,
You're still going to be the same person at the core of it. It's just some skills, some traits might get accentuated, and it's just it grows you, it makes you better. It doesn't mean that it changes you and you become something else.
no. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You definitely
Yeah,
get
and
like, it's like working out, like muscle fibers. If you go to the gym, you know, every day, and you're doing heavier and heavier weights, you're bound to gain muscle strength. You know,
yeah,
so yeah.
that is true.
hmm I like your cup.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. It's my wife's cup.
Oh, I
Hopefully
can
she
tell.
will not
I
see
know.
it. Or I'll get in trouble. um, and when it comes like to leadership failure, what would be like the biggest leadership failure that you had the unfortunate experience of witnessing?
The top, the I've seen a lot, but the top I see is burnout. You know, burnout.
Burnout.
Yeah, burnout for sure. Where, you know, someone comes in with the intention of, you know, flipping the whole department on his head, or, you know, having these ambitious goals, but no clear, realistic way how to apply the knowledge or maybe the know-how to actually do it, and then burning themselves out, and then end up leaving, or end up, you know, not putting in as much effort to continue that journey to make, you know, that department, or maybe bring up those numbers better, and they burn out, and they, you know, they get tired, or they just decide it's not for them anymore. But with every situation, you have to go into it with, I call it a reality plus mindset. Here's the
Yes.
reality, and this is what's actually happening. So what can I do now to improve this and make it better, instead of coming in without, you know, any coming in full force and not trying to like accept the reality for what it is, and trying to make your own reality become it. And that's where it goes back. You know, you definitely
Yeah.
have to come in with a reality plus mindset, which means like, this is the reality of the situation. It's disappointing. It's what it is. But I'm going to apply a practical solution of how to deal with what we have now. And then when that improves, I can, you know, add what my other creative uh my other creative solutions. But if you try to go in and
Yes.
try to change a whole thing that's been there for like 20 years, it's not gonna work
Hard.
well. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. You can't just uproot or up in, you know, something or structure. You know, change is hard. A lot of people don't like change. So trying to uproot or up in something that's been there for a long time, it takes a progressive approach. It's not a full, you know, you trying to do it overnight. And when that happens, burnout. You're gonna get tired. You're just gonna want to quit. You're gonna feel so frustrated that you will literally quit. And I've seen that dozens of times where I walk into work, such and such isn't here anymore. I'm like, oh wow. So yeah,
And you're right, Matt. Like burnout, it's a major problem that I see, especially like in the situation of a new minted manager or a new minted leader, and it's just they go in with such high hopes, and they want to achieve so much and really fast. And because while they were working as a team member, they saw all kinds of issues and discussing with their team members all kinds of issues, and they want to improve the work conditions, and they want to bring change. But if you don't pace yourself, you are going to burn out, and you're not going to be able to have the impact that you wanted to have.
absolutely right. absolutely right. And that's what I see a lot. And, of course, you want 100% effort. You want to, you want to bring your best every day. But however long you're gonna be with that company, you have to pace that 100%. You have to stretch that 100% over 5 years or, or, or 10 years, 20. You have 100% coming in with that definitely gonna burn you out. Yeah, so comes and that percent stretch to your career. It's gonna be those first 2 days, and then it might be 5% the next 6 years.
Yes, that's true. You just have to allow yourself to have an impact on the organization. It's not a 100
Yes,
meter
for sure.
dash. It's a marathon, and even more than a marathon.
It's a marathon. It's a marathon.
Exactly. And Matt, what would be your leadership philosophy?
My leadership philosophy would definitely be getting to know people you work with, work for, and I don't like to say work on top of, but if you're leading a group or a department of people and you have to see them every day, it's
Yes.
in your best interest to find out, man, what does Andrei like for coffee? What does their likes, their interests, their you don't have to be buddy best friends with everyone you work with or work for, but at the same time, if you see these people every day, it's in your best interest to have them be personable, because if you're not personable, you're gonna come across as a robot or a machine.
Oh yeah, God no.
And and then people will treat you as such. It won't be it'll be, if you fail, nobody cares.
Exactly.
If you fail, nobody cares. So if you're leading a department and you're responsible for those department numbers, or maybe that project or that assignment or whatever, and you're working with a group of people that don't care if you fail because they don't know you well enough to care, then you're already starting from the negative as soon as you walk in through the door. So I mean, I've been fortunate enough to work with leaders who I actually care about.
Yes, and that's
And
important.
that definitely changes my mindset. That definitely changes my mindset about why when I come into work, I want to make sure I'm doing the best I can because I actually care if they succeed. So I work my hardest. I will do whatever I can to make sure they look good because I care about their numbers. I care about what they got going on because I actually care about who they are as people. And that definitely being personable, being a human being, because if you're not, they won't care about your success. And if they don't care about your success, then it's
It's
gonna be
hard.
yeah. They're throwing, they're there for a paycheck. Once they stop caring about if you succeed or not, or if you're happy, or if you look good, then they're not going to treat you as someone who they can unleash their full potential. You know what I mean?
Yes, Matt, and it's important to get to know your people at a personal level. It's professional and everything, but it's also you have to have an undertone like we're a small family in some ways, and people get
Yeah.
to appreciate you like when you know some small stuff about them, some how they prefer certain things, and that shows that you care. It's not just in a work environment, like even with the friends you have and your family. The more you know about the person, the easier it is to relate to them and to find
Yes.
out how you can motivate them, how you can work together with them, what tasks are better suited to them. And I
Yeah.
especially liked your advice of helping actually leaders to succeed, because you would also want to get the same support from your team when you are stepping into that position. And Matt, what would be the top 3 leadership tips you have for aspiring leaders?
Definitely don't burn out, and definitely be yourself, personable with your employees. Um, you know, they have to know you. They have to know who you are as a person. They have to care about your success. They have to care about your failure. They have to want to see you succeed. And they have to want to see you win. They have to come in with that mindset
Yes.
every day. Like, man, I care about this person as a person and I want to see him win. And if you're there at a company or you're there at a job every day, you spend more time at work than you do at home. If you count up the hours and you count up the hours that maybe you're
Oh,
going grocery shopping or maybe going to deliver mail, or I don't know, or you're out of your house for a certain amount of hours, and you add that plus the hours you at work, you spend more time at work than at home. So it's in
that's for sure.
it's in your best bet to get to know the people around you and become familiar with them, get to know them, and get to actually like them. Not to be disingenuous about the relationship, but definitely make an effort to get to know the people that you work with or work for or work on top of every day, because you have to see them and their success, I mean your success definitely mounts on that. Them caring about who you are as a person, because if not, they're going to treat you like a robot. They're going to see you, they might talk to you, but if they don't care about if you succeed or if you fail, then they're gonna give you like 50% effort instead of giving that 100%. You know.
And would you say it's good to treat them like your extended family?
Yeah. All of my leaders, like I care about as people. I really care about them, like for real, for real. If they're sick, I'm gonna wonder, oh my God, what happened? If they're happy, I want to know, what they're happy about. If they, I don't know, if they went to the gym the other day, I want to know, what happened. So it's like I care about them, as people. And
Oh,
a lot of people say, oh well, you have to separate work from personal life, but it's like, at what point at what point would that happen? You know what I mean? It's not like I walk
good
out the door.
question.
Yeah, it's not like I walk out the door of my job and just suddenly stop caring about who they are as people. And it's not like I suddenly come into work and say, okay, I'm going to be, super focused on treating this person like a robot, or somebody I just work with. But it's not that. The longer you're with somebody, those relationships develop whether or not you want them to. So if I like this person and he's my leader, and he keeps doing things and I'm supporting him, he's supporting me, that bond, that relationship is only going to get better and stronger. That's why when people are at companies for like 20 years and they leave, I've seen people cry. When I left my last job I was at for like 9 years,
Nine
my HR,
years, yeah.
yeah, my HR assistant, she's like an HR assistant to like the HR leader, but she cried.
Yes.
Like she literally cried, like tears in her eyes, cried, because over that 9 years, I've always come to her with my issues, my problems, and she's always been there. We laughed, we drove, we developed, this working relationship, and we've come to care about each other as people. So a lot of people were sad when I left, but that was like 9 years of these relationships were fostered. But if they weren't and I left, then they probably wouldn't even know this, you know. So
Yes, and it's important to leave your mark in an organization and have a powerful presence due to your relationships that you built with everybody inside of the company.
yep, there's only one you. There's only one
Yeah,
you.
that's true.
There's only one me. There's only one Andre, and it's like, if you're not there at work and your presence isn't felt, or your absence isn't felt, then I don't know, maybe you aren't doing enough to make that, make that a priority. But you definitely don't want to be just another number, because if that
Yeah,
happens, then there's a lot of opportunities that could be missed, that you would be looked over for, even if, no matter how talented or how skilled you are. You know, if they don't know you as a person, if they don't come to care about you as a person, then you're just another face in the crowd. You're just another number in the bin.
And you don't want to be easily exchangeable like a robot, because
No.
you're not. You're a human being.
Yep.
You have thoughts, ideas. You're living, breathing. You can always bring something to the table.
Always something different.
Yeah. And with that in mind, I'm really curious about what is the book that had the most profound impact on you.
Definitely a book it's 2 books. One
Oh,
I've
books,
had
good.
one I've had for a while, and it's called Taking People With You by David Novak. And this is
Okay.
probably the most practical book ever. You know, it talks about how to help other people be themselves. And you know, one of the points that I like in this book is it says a point here: as a leader, your responsibility doesn't end with just getting good at being you. You also have to communicate to everyone you lead how important it is for them to be themselves too. So I feel like, yeah, that has definitely been done. And you know, where I work at, you know, they're used to my personality, they're used to, you know, my style, my communication style. And there is no one, you know, at my job or my company saying, hey, stop doing this, or stop being you, or we don't like how you know, there's no one, you know, I'm not doing nothing necessarily wrong, but there's no one saying stop being you. And that's what I love. That's what I really love
That's awesome.
about Best Buy, because it's come to a point right now where they definitely celebrate individuality. At Best Buy where I work, my leaders, everyone, they celebrate individuality. You know, we have a set core of things to be done, tasks to be done. We have skills to implement, but at the same time, you can be you. You know, you can be you. If this is your personality, then be that best personality, because every customer that comes through the door, we have like 1 million customers, you know, that come through all the Best Buy stores every day. Yeah, so you're not going to connect with different customers in the same way, because your personality styles might not be different. You might connect with a wide variety of customers, but it won't be every single customer. That's why every employee has to be different. I used to work for another company like a long time ago, and they had a script, right? You're on the phone. Most companies do this. They have a script, and no matter who gets on the phone and no matter what their issue is, you have to read this script word for word. And if you change a word, you know, you get in trouble. And it was the most troubling. Yeah, and it was the most troubling thing to see, because it's like, no matter what the customer told you, you would have to reply with this script. And it was just the most ridiculous thing ever, because you can't respond to everyone in the same way, and you can't fix every problem in the same way, and everybody is different. So, you know, having that blanket approach to you know, a leadership style is definitely something that I haven't seen, you know, succeed very often. You know, you definitely
turning people into machines, never a good idea.
Never. If there's 5 people on my team, if I'm leading, if I go into a leadership position and there's 5 people on my team, I'm going to make sure to find out what each person is really, really good at, and you know, which person is struggling the most, and I will delegate the task by strength, and whoever is strongest in that area could help the person who's weak in that area. But I just can't assume everybody's on the same level or everybody is good at the same thing, because it's a recipe for disaster. But yeah, this book, Taking People With You by David Novak, and one I recently discovered through LinkedIn, Lorenzo Flores, Hacking Your Leadership. That's another good book, and it's specifically made for retail, for retail leaders by a retail leader. So, and he has a podcast show too. But yeah, Lorenzo Flores, Hacking Leadership, and Taking People With You by David Novak. Definitely 2 books I suggest to everybody out there to check out.
Yeah, and even if you're not working in retail, you can still pick up some good gems in those books and apply in other industries, because leadership is leadership. It's not specific to one domain, or you can have one type of leadership here and another type there.
Yeah, you don't even have to be. I feel like with retail and even being in a leadership position, what communication skills, I don't care if you don't even have a job, if you're not even working, your
Yes.
communication skills are very important to the relationship that you will develop with friends, family, loved ones, spouses. Communication, it all comes down to communication and interpersonal skills, knowing how to listen and knowing how to be receptive. And at
Oh
the
my
very
God, yes.
at the very base core, you definitely want to be you want to be good at interpersonal skills and communication, because those two skills will take you so far in life. It will take you so far in life.
That is
Believe
so
me, it will.
true. And Matt, if people want to find out more about you, where should they go?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn for
LinkedIn.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, LinkedIn for sure. Like I love LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn. I post my thoughts on there. I post what I'm wearing. A lot of people seem to gravitate towards that. I'm a big sneakerhead, so I love shoes. But yeah, LinkedIn. I post my thoughts on there. I post, anything I learn, I like to share, because if you're not sharing knowledge, and your knowledge isn't meant to be hoarded, if you know something and you're good at something, it's
Share it.
no use of you knowing that if you're not sharing it with somebody. So I definitely like to share what I know, what I learned, and any tips that I may have not known that I know now. So yeah.
Yes. So go and connect with Matt on LinkedIn and follow him. I know I do. Oh, and it's really, really great.
Andrei, I want to
Well,
give a shout out to you. I want everyone to go to the Techie Leadership Show, because Andrei, I went through your material, and I really like your
thank
platform.
you.
I really like what you discuss, and I feel like you are creating a niche, and that's going to explode, because there's a
Thank you
lot
very
of
much.
people who are coming out of this whole pandemic thing, and they're looking for how to get into certain positions, and they're looking for different interview skills. And I see that you talk about a wide variety of subjects on your website, and I really enjoy it, and I'm definitely gonna recommend that to other people. And I feel like everybody out there listening, definitely check out his website. I like it, and I really like it.
Well, thank you very much. I'm blushing here, Matt.
With your wife's cup?
Yes. She's not home yet from work, so I
Okay,
still have time.
You gotta make sure to clean it, scrub it, put it in the same
Exactly.
exact position that you got it
And
out of.
dry it, everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, like it was never used.
Exactly. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, Matt.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure. Anytime.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.
That was today's episode. Tune in daily. Rate, like, subscribe, and share, please. Oh, you can find further info and materials in the show notes on techyleadership.com, including links to the guest book recommendations.